Hi there, it's Aysun from Hello Code World. Today I have another CSS video. One of the most fundamental concepts of CSS, CSS Box Model. Enjoy. In CSS, every element is treated as a rectangular box. For example, here, if we have an H1 element and the content is the main title, anything between the tags is called the content, is going to be represented in CSS like it is a box that has a border. And if we want to add a padding, that will be the distance between the border and the content. And anything we will add as a margin is going to be the distance of that box to another element. Now, let's see on the VS Code what exactly this means. Okay, I have my VS Code open, and in my index.html, I only have a p tag. And let's go to style.css and select that p. And I want to give the width of 100 pixel to this P and the height 100 pixel and background color blue. Now we have a blue box. And I will right click to the browser, inspect, and select the box that will give me the selected elements CSS styles. And let's scroll down, and right here, this box you are seeing is the box representation of that P element. And what it says at the moment, the margin top and the bottom for that element is 16 pixel. Well, don't get confused. We didn't give any margins yet, I know, but we will see where it's coming from in a minute. And you have no border given, that's what it means. And the padding, you have no padding on the element. And this box here is the representation of the content. Remember our diagram? This is the content part. And please pay attention, width and height is controlling the size of the content, only the size of the content. And at the moment, the width is 100 pixel. And the margin, because we have a margin here, the height is, of course, more than 100. The total height is more than 100 pixels. Now let's go and give some padding and see how it is going to look like, okay? So remember, the padding was the distance between the content and the border. Now, if I give here padding 20 pixels, padding 20 pixels, what this is going to do is it's going to add padding to all around the box. So you can see the shift in the hello world, this in the content. The 100 to 100, which is that square, is having an offset now from the four sides of the box, and the value for that is 20 pixels. And you can see in the box model, it is here, it's mirrored like that, okay? Now, padding is not affecting the size of the content. It's just an additional distance between the border and the content of the element. Well, at the moment we don't have any border. Let's give it a border and understand it a lot better. Border 2 pixels solid black. Now, this is the border I'm talking about. And now it's much clearer. The distance between the border and the content is the padding. And what is the margin? Margin is outside of the border. Like if I had a second uh, element here, it doesn't matter what it is because in CSS, everything is represented as a box. And maybe we can go and create an H1, for example. Okay, this time. And this H1 is going to be my title. My title. And let's select my title and give it similar styling just to see. It will also look like a box. Again, maybe the same width. This time, maybe the 200 pixels and the height 200 pixels and background color red. Now, let me just close this developer tool here. We have a second box. Okay. If I give to the H1 some margin, something like 200 pixels as well. Now you see that well, maybe it's something smaller, 100 pixels, and the box has having some invisible offset from the edges of the browser and also from the other content here. So margin, and let's give this a border as well. Border, again, the 2 pixels solid black. And because the margin is going to be add to the outside of the box, outside of the border, that is causing this offset here. Now, if I, in the developer tools, that I will just put it in that side, if I select that element, here in the box model for that H1, you can see the apply margin. And that's causing the shift between the other content and also the browser. Okay. Now let's go back to something we saw earlier. Here in this box, in the blue box, even if I don't have any margin given, I am observing some margin on the element. Why is that? Well, the browsers automatically applies to the HTML elements some margins, a padding. So that's why it's important to be sure, if you want to have the 100% control on your code, you are removing that unexpected margins and paddings from all the elements you are developing. And that's done through, you can use the universal selector here. And universal selector is going to select all the elements in your HTML and just set all the margins and paddings to 0. As you see now, in the blue box, we remove the margin, the automatically setting margin. The other problem is because the width and the height of an element, the content, let's say that you make a website and you set the width and height, you have an idea what is the size, but then you needed to add some padding that will, or margin that will change the total size of your element, and kind of like everything will collapse because you are going to build up your UI onto that sizing. But there are few steps to get 100% of control of the size of the element, and one of the ways is how we can make the total size constant, because here you see that you set the width to 100, but then you add padding and this will make the width to 140, and then you have the border. And how you can stop calculating is in this inside of this universal selector, you can put one more line, and you can set the box sizing to border box. This is called normalization of the CSS, okay? And it's good to add this line to the beginning of your projects each time. And this box sizing border box, what it is going to do is it's going to keep the total width and the height of an element constant, even if you add some padding and margin. Okay, this is box model in a nutshell, and you will learn more and you will understand more once you start building things yourself. But this information here is going to get you going. I hope you liked the lesson. If so, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope to see you in the next one.